Before getting into today's episode, we'd like to thank Mac Performance PT for sponsoring the Walk-On Pod. For more on their services and contact information, click the link in our Instagram bio where you will be led to their website. Mac Performance PT, helping Sacramento athletes live life without limits.
Thank you for tuning back into the Walk-On Pod. We have another special guest with us today. I'm really excited. It's one of my former teammates. He's made a name for himself professionally now, and I think it's going to be a really good conversation. We have Brooks Debisschop with us today. Brooks, man, appreciate you being on.
What's up, fellas? Happy to finally be on here. You know, I've been following you guys from the jump, and I think I've listened to all my former lumberjacks on the pod.
Yeah.
So
we love the family photo in the background.
you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
That's real wholesome.
And then we've got younger brother, older brother. Yeah, we're a pretty tight group, you know.
Yeah, it definitely goes to show Brooks he's a family guy. He definitely is a good guy all around. But no, I think Brooks, he alluded to it a little bit. We were teammates at NAU, and I think I've name dropped Brooks a couple of times about when I first got there. Like, he was someone that I leaned on. Him and JoJo were probably the two that I was closest with that weren't Nick, and so that was kind of where our relationship started, just to clear that up. But we usually throw it to the guests now, Brooks. You know, you can start wherever you want about your story. And then, you know I have some notes that I want to go over as well, and these guys are ready. But, you know, throw it to you. You can go wherever you want. We'll go from there.
Yeah, I guess. Well, let me just start from the beginning. You know, grew up, you know, 3-sport athlete, from like, I don't know, first grade or whatever, football, basketball, baseball. Kind of played all three equally, you know, each season, you know, 3-4 months, and then jumped to the next one. And then I want to say when I got to high school, I was about 5'11", 150 pounds. So, you know, I was a decent sized 14-year-old, but not a recruitable basketball player by any means, but played baseball, football, all that. And then grew to 6'2" my sophomore year, 6'5" my junior year. And I think around my junior year, I dropped baseball and was just playing football and basketball, and was kind of trying to decide what I thought I had a better chance at, you know, playing at the next level at. And then I grew to 6'6", 6'7" my senior year summer. And by that point, I hadn't been recruited by anybody at all, really. But by that 17-year summer, I was about 6'7", was playing with Adidas Gauntlet team, traveling around. So, you know, I was going to showcases trying to, you know, show my game any way I could. And I would have guys at the showcase be like, "Hey, what schools are you getting recruited by?" And I'd be like, "Literally nobody." And they were like, "You haven't talked to any D3s and AIs?" Like, "I've not talked to a college coach in my life. Not one conversation, phone call, text, nothing." So this guy at camp's like, "Hey, well, I'm gonna like get on at least like local teams or whatever." So that next weekend, so the weekend before, our team went to Vegas for the summer finale, on the Adidas Gauntlet, and I had like 3 or 4 D3 and NAI coaches locally just like kind of say, "Hey, we're gonna check you out this weekend. We'd love to have you." But I kind of knew I could play at a higher level than that. I like had confidence in myself that, you know, no disrespect to the guys that are playing D3 or NAI or anything like that, but I was like, you know, I think I can play at the D1 level, and that's what I wanted to do. So, but really before that point, I hadn't even thought about it. Like I was like, I don't think I'm a recruitable guy. Like no one had, you know, hadn't talked to anybody. And then between the summer of my going into my senior year and like the end of my senior year, I grew about another inch, and then ended up, you know, getting offers from NAU and University of Idaho, both to walk on as a freshman. And then they both said, you know, you come in, have a good freshman year, we'll put you on scholarship that next year. And so the whole idea was come in, redshirt, grow as a player and everything, and then be on scholarship as a redshirt freshman the following season. So I ended up taking my talents to Flagstaff from there. And you know, when I went on my official visit, we, you know, played pickup with the guys, and I was like, you know, I think I can play with these guys. Like, I think I can at least compete and try to get on the court a year and a half from now, after I redshirt. And so, I got there in the summer, and Luke could probably tell you some Coach West stories, like how he gets on the incoming freshmen. But
yeah.
Coach Wes Pfeiffer, who's my guy, texted with Wes the other day, but he always would get on the new guys, put them through intense defensive drills. And believe it or not, coming into my freshman year, like I thought of myself as an okay 3-point shooter for a big. Like, I was like, okay, I could step out and shoot threes here and there. So I remember I'd been on campus for like 2 or 3 weeks. It was middle of July, and we were playing a scrimmage, and I finally get subbed in, jog down the court. I'm like the trail foreman, and the point guard flips it to me, and I jack up like a 25-foot three, air ball like a foot to the left. Wes immediately subs me out and goes, "The hell was that, man? I thought you were a shooter, And it was just on my head from jump. And I was like, oh, well, this is not what I expected. But then, so I went through that whole summer, basically like, hey, you're going to redshirt. You're going to sit behind. We had 2 senior bigs, 2 sophomore bigs, and another freshman big who were all ahead of me on the depth chart. So I was like the 6th big on the roster, and then just kind of tried to work every day, take care of what I could. And then I think after our 3rd game, Coach Murphy called me in his office and said, hey, I want to pull your red shirt and put you on the court. So then played about 15, 20 minutes a game as a freshman. And then from there started 20 or 25 games as a sophomore. And then junior year started, I think, every game. And then for our senior year, Coach Murph left. Coach Burkar stepped in as the interim head coach. And I kind of felt like that was a second birth of my basketball career, because prior to that point, I was pretty much just a role guy on the team. Basically, I tried to just, be in the right position on defense, rebound, kind of be a glue guy and help my teammates. And Coach Burkhardt told me, hey, I think you can be the best player on our team and our best big, and we can throw you the ball on the post and trust you to score and things like that. And I hadn't really done that at all, really, in my life to that point, because I wasn't really a big until 17. And so, to that point, I was pretty much just, a glue guy trying to fit on the court. And then really took off, felt like my senior year, had a pretty good year. And then our season ended in middle of March with COVID. We didn't get to play a postseason tournament. And then after that, headed overseas. So from there, I spent my first pro season in Belarus, over by Russia. Man, when I first got out there, it was like I landed. I literally thought, I can't live in this place. Like, this is not going to work. No one spoke English. They had me in a tiny apartment, probably, I don't know. My bedroom was the size of my bed, and then it was enough space on one side for my laptop to fit to charge. And then the bed was against the wall. That was like the size of my bedroom.
Jeez.
Yeah.
What team did you play for in Belarus?
Team was called BC Borisfin, in a town called Mogilov.
I'm fact checking this right now, but my teammate from last year plays in Belarus right now. And I'm like, I think he plays for BC Borisfin as well.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, he's playing really well for them out there too. So that's a small world.
Yeah, I mean, I was for sure thankful to have like an opportunity just to get over there, especially with COVID and everything that was going on. It was tough to get on a team. But that first year really like kind of opened up my eyes to like how tough the overseas hoops thing can be, just being away from family for 10 months consecutively, being in a country where nobody spoke English. Like, I want to say on a daily basis, I might run into 2 or 3 people that could have a conversation with me outside of my teammates. Food was different. It was just difficult situation. But, I had a decent year. And then last season, I signed with a team in Germany, Frankfurt Skyliners, in the BBL, which was a really good opportunity for me at that point. And went down there, had a good preseason, and then hurt my knee and was out for 4 months from September to December out there. And then spent the next 5 months after that kind of trying to fit my way back in the lineup and claw back into the lineup. And then this past season, I spent 3 or 4 months in Mexico, down in Guadalajara. And then the last 6 months, just got back last week from Kosovo, playing for KB Pristina out there. So that was kind of long-winded, but just kind of.
No, that was good. That was great. That was really good. So I kind of want to start back in high school, and then we'll work our way all the way up. I know these guys probably have other questions as well, but you kind of skimmed over high school a little bit. You were on a very notorious high school basketball team, correct? Especially in the state of Oregon.
Yes, sir, in the state of Oregon. Well, so full disclosure, I was a varsity team member in 2015 and 2016, my junior and senior year. But the 4 years I was in high school, the Westland Lions won the 6A state championship each of those 4 years. So we're the only team, I think, that's pretty sure the only team that's ever won 4 consecutive in the big classification in the state of Oregon. My high school teammate and one of my very best friends today, Peyton Pritchard, was our point guard. He was 3-time player of the year in the state of Oregon. And they went on to University of Oregon, All-American and first-round draft pick for the Boston Celtics, where he's at now. So, yeah, we had him. We had our starting 2 guard my senior year, just got signed by the Las Vegas Raiders, plays DB. Our starting 3-man is a professional baseball player. He's with the Pittsburgh Pirates organization. Our starting 4-man played professional overseas for 2 seasons, and then I was our starting 5. So 5 professional athletes at our starting 5. And then off the bench, we had 2 guys that played Division II basketball, a guy that played D2 football, and then a couple of other dudes. But yeah,
athletes.
Yeah, no, that's a special lineup. I was gonna say, so coming from that, where it's obviously a high level competition, and like you said, there's all these different athletes from different sports. How do you think that prepared you for what was to come in college? Because I know a lot of people talk about like a big jump or a big, shock in terms of like the way things are ran. But like if you come from a high school such as that like everyone holds themselves to a certain standard, did that change the way that transition was for you?
Yeah, I will say my high school coach, Eric Vukala, one of my favorite coaches I've ever had, and he did a great job preparing us for high school. But he could be, I mean, in my opinion, he'd be a very good college coach as well. But he was a career high school coach. But I mean, we used to have full-blown scouting reports, watch film on other teams, ran practices, not as hard as Jack Murphy or Shane Burkhart's practices up in Flagstaff, but for high school practices, we freaking got after it and competed. And our team was so talented those last 2 years, especially, that like our hardest days were competing against each other in practice. And we had a bunch of dudes that really loved to just win. And so like we had wars in practice because we knew we were going to go play a team on a Tuesday night that we might beat by 40 or 50 points. So a lot of the way we got better and really set the foundation for each of us to be successful as college and then pro athletes, I think, was just the way we got after it every day, like the mentality we showed up to every day to work. And I think that carried over pretty well to NAU. Obviously the speed of the game and the bigs at the college level are totally different than high school, but it didn't take me too long to adjust.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's funny you say that because there's always like the cliche saying that coaches say where it's like the game should be easier than practice, and like that's about as real as it gets for you guys. Like it probably was a lot more difficult in practice than it was in games.
No doubt. Yeah, I mean our starting shooting guard who I said is with the Las Vegas Raiders, he's a cornerback, was probably the best perimeter defender in the state. And we obviously had the best player in the state. And there, 2 of those guys were also best friends. But like at practice, there was countless times where they almost or did get to throwing hands because they were just like, we got to go every day and compete, which was fun. Like we had so much fun. Looking back at it, those were like some of the best times, just like getting after it and competing every day in practice.
Yeah, definitely. So then, Jared, I don't know if you had something to touch on for the high school portion here, but
yeah. So I'm gonna bring up the elephant in the room. Oregon doesn't have a shot clock.
We're getting one in 2024, I believe, or maybe this year, upcoming season. We are getting
I've watched one high school basketball game
The
in Oregon.
elephant in the room.
Yeah, I actually wasn't thinking about it.
It was
Me
it
either.
was a rough watch. The ending score was 22-18.
You know what? I'm like the biggest pro shot clock advocate. I mean, I think once you play at a level that there's a shot clock, you then realize how absurd it is for there not to be a shot clock.
Yeah. So did you guys slow it down, or did you guys just because you had so much talent, you guys just blew doors off of everybody?
No, we played up tempo and ran. Actually, teams tried to slow us down and hold the ball. And my high school coach was like, "Hey guys, these guys are going to hold the ball against us. We're not going to just stand there and let them do that." So if a team decided to stand at half court, we would run and jump and half court trap, and like we'll let you shoot a quick, open three. We'll rotate and try to close out to you, but we weren't going to let anybody hold the ball. And for the most part, when teams tried to do that, it kind of snowballed after a minute because we just create some turnovers. And even if they got a couple buckets, it was like we'd rather them get shots up than just hold the rock every time. But I can't wait for there to be a high school shot clock next season in Oregon. I think it's good for the game. I think it's good for player development, all that stuff.
Okay. You should be on the board for the.
Was it in Oregon where the
seriously.
game was won 4-2? Was that in Oregon?
I have no clue. In the big classifications of say in 5A, you don't see that as much. But like when you get some of those towns over by the beach that there's like 47 kids at the school, I think you get probably some janky things going on with the basketball they're playing out
Four
there.
corners.
Yeah. When I went to the game in Bend, it was the two high schools in Bend were playing each other.
Yeah.
And they literally did that. It was like 4-minute possessions.
Yeah. That's awful.
That's not basketball. Stands the whole 4 minutes.
Yeah. So, all right, good. I'm glad you guys are getting shot clock, getting back into the 21st century.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, it's funny. But so then when we get to NAU, you think you're gonna redshirt that year. How did your mindset have to change right after that meeting you had with Murph? Like, oh, okay, now I gotta be ready to get in here and play. Like, how did it change for you?
Yeah, I mean, so first of all, it was like I was like when they recruited me, they're like, "Hey, you're gonna redshirt." And like the first time I met Murph, I went to lunch with my mom and my dad and Murph. And Murph's like, "Hey, we're thinking about probably redshirting him." My dad was like, "Fantastic. He needs to redshirt. He weighs 200 pounds. He needs to put on weight. He needs to get better. Like he can't play college basketball next year. No way. Let's redshirt him. Perfect." Murph's like, "Great. We're on the same page. Let's do it." And so I want to say that the whole summer I was not any good, tired all the time from just the workload and adjusting to the 7,000 feet.
Yeah, I was about to say the elevation definitely kicks in there.
And then I want to say when we came back after a short little break for school, I wasn't probably strong enough yet. But what I would do was I was able to pick up the concepts and what we were trying to do defensively in terms of rotations and being in the right spot and defending ball screens and things like that. And so as we got closer to the season, I felt like, hey, I'm like, if something happened, I feel like I could go in the game and perform well, but I was still like pretty set on like, let me save this year and be a freshman next year and, go from there. And we played 3 games in like 3 days at Santa Clara. We played like Santa Clara, Tennessee Tech, and UC Davis 3 days in a row. And I can't remember if it was Corey or Zay, but one of them sprained their ankle and the other one got in foul trouble. And those were our 3rd and 4th bigs our 2 off the bench bigs. And we were and Steven Stanley had to get in there and battle, which, Steven Stanley was a good walk-on for us. But I think after that, Murph was like, "Hey, we need more depth," and then told me, "You're gonna get in there and play." And I basically was like, "You know what? I'm not opposed to it. I just don't want to be, the 5th big and like I'm, playing every 5th game and I'm wasting a year." And he's like, "No. You've shown it in practice. You're gonna be the first big off the bench." And so from that first game, I was the first sub and, played 18 or 20 minutes a game that whole year.
I think it's funny. So I'm sure we've talked about this, but Jared and I went to NAU Sac State at Sac State that year. And I remember you playing like significant minutes. I don't know if Akko got in foul trouble or something, or I remember one of the bigs barely played. And then I remember you played like heavy minutes. So I was like, when I went to my visit, which was after your guys' season, I remember you came over to like me and my parents and were like talking to us, and I was like, "Hey," when me and Jared went to watch, he was one of the like main players. He played a lot of minutes and stuff. So it's funny that you say like you were ready to just go in, like if your name gets called, do what I had to do for however long it was. But like I didn't even. This is the first time I'm learning of that, because I thought of you as like you went in and you were one of the significant role players from the jump.
Yeah,
but
no, it was it was weird. It's one of those things where I feel like everyone has this moment, but like you have a moment, I feel like you get to campus and it's like it's way too fast. Everything is, you can't make a shot, you can't dribble. Concepts are coming too quick, and then like at some point it just like clicks and kind of slows down. And I hit that point probably like a week before our first game, and at that point it was like, okay, this kid's doing good, but like he's probably not ready to play. And then from there you improve rapidly, I think.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point, actually. I'm gonna run it through my head.
Yeah, Brooks, what do you think, like, just from your perspective, since we're kind of on this, what do you feel like Murph saw in you that like made him feel comfortable throwing you out there? Because that's like a big thing now, right? Is like playing freshmen that play, like, okay, well, what outside of like the highly ranked 5-star guys, like it's hard to find a freshman that a coach is going to feel comfortable throwing out there. So what do you think you did, like intentionally or unintentionally, that made Murph feel comfortable?
Yeah, well, I mean, really what it came down to at the end of the day was that I could forget offense, scoring the ball at all, creating anything for anybody else. It pretty much came down to the fact that I could be in the right position on defense. I boxed out, hedged ball screens, and rebounded and ran the floor. That's basically all I did. And it was funny, actually. At one point during my freshman year, one of our other bigs messed up something on like an X out or something. And Murph stopped the drill and said, "Do you know why Brooks plays in front of you?" And the guy was like, "Oh," and he said, "It's because he stands in the right spot on defense. That's it."
There you go.
And so
there you go. I hope every high school kid listens to this.
No, that's a great
high school that
right
I know, like, listens to this and just replays that in their head.
No, and I think that what people don't understand is like, I mean, I remember before I went to NAU, I was like, oh, I gotta become a college player. So I'm in the gym working on like running, catching, shooting threes off of like movement and stuff, trying to like add to my bag and stuff. And like, you don't realize like the only shot I'm taking this year is a free throw, a layup, and maybe a top of the key, just stand still three. Like those are the only things that are going to happen.
He goes to Wes. He says, "Can I get the Doug McDermott bag, please?"
Yeah. I mean, it's funny.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna say it's funny because we had the 3-point license at that point, and so like, if you didn't to explain the 3-point license, basically it was a
what, you don't know what this is, Tom? Come on.
You had to get a driver's license to shoot threes at NAU.
Yeah, exactly.
Why has nobody ever told me about this?
When you get back,
I'm not going to say anything negative, but I can tell you why.
Bro, no, honestly, I kind of liked it.
Right.
But
yeah, Luke, it's the best thing because it's easy.
Because for Luke, making 47 out of 50 is not that difficult. That's just a Tuesday for Luke.
It was funny,
right?
But that's the thing, though. Is like it's like an easy way for me to tell you, like, or to tell you about yourself.
Yeah.
That's insane.
My problem with it was like we were having full blown practices, and like after the first like 3 days of practice, like only Luke and one other guy were allowed to shoot threes. So like I'm like, hey Murph, do we just not like, do I have to close out because no one can shoot? Like, am I just standing in the paint today because no one's allowed to shoot threes? So at that point, I was like, what's going on? Like, but
bro, when people start cheating the drills in practice,
yeah, but the concept of it's like not ridiculous, you know.
Bro, that's actually hilarious.
It's so funny.
Nobody was probably playing defense.
Tommy, when you come back, I'll give you the Solano College driver's license drills.
We're short clothes on everyone except for LA and one more guy.
Yeah. Well, and like the double-edged sword of me as a player and person, which LA knows this all too well, is that like if I think something is stupid,
I love we're just calling him LA now.
Oh, that's all I call him.
That's all Brooks knows me by.
Yeah, that's LA. But Mr. Avdalovich, any time he knows, like if I think something's a little bit janky or funky or like that's not going to work, I'm like, hey, that's not it. That's not going to work. And I express my opinion, and that's hurt me at times in my career, and it's helped me at times. But usually, me and the coach have to come to some sort of understanding at some point with that in regard to that.
You know, it's funny you bring that up because I remember a scout. I don't remember what game it was, who we were playing, but I remember a scout where we're going over like the way we're guarding somebody, and you were like, Murph, that's not gonna work. And he was like, he like looked at you like, what do you mean it's not? Like, this is my scout. Like, you can't tell me it's not gonna work. And you were like, I know him. Like, that's not gonna work. He's gonna shell us. And he like looked at you crazy, and like everyone in the room was like, is he serious right now? And then like this was the first day of the scout, so like we had 2 days, and by the end it actually adjusted to what you were saying, and it was so funny. And then everyone was like, oh, I guess Brooks gets to say it. And then later in the season, Murph was like, do you guys remember when Brooks told me my scout was wrong? He can say that stuff because he has a great IQ. Some of you guys need to learn from him. I was like, oh my God, this is turning into a thing now. But it was so funny because Brooks I'm glad he's being honest about it, because he was not afraid to say if like, and it got with the 3-point license. I remember he took a 3 once and missed it. And they were like, do you have your license? He was like, I don't care. I'm open. I'm going to shoot it.
I did do that. Probably more than once. I probably did that.
Well, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
It's not though. It's actually
it's good drills. Tommy, it's good drills.
Yeah, just think about your team, Tom, and think about the quality of shot, how high it would.
Right. It's just I just can't like.
Hey, you know what? My high school.
I just know.
Yeah. My high school coach had a saying: "If you don't shoot them, they'll never go in."
It's true.
That's.
You think that your ability, Brooks? Do you think your ability to be in the right position on defense has anything to do with the fact that there's no shot clock? That you had a lot of time.
Come on, man. That's a low blow.
I was in the right position that
like it was unlimited amount of time to play defense.
What are we
Eventually,
doing,
I was going to
man?
get in the right spot.
What are we doing?
Come back to this.
You know what? In all seriousness, I think
I'm just kidding, Brooks. I'm just kidding.
No, but I think the thing that prepared me, honestly, the most for like just being able to play that role as a freshman and sophomore was that like growing up, I've never been the best player on any team I ever played on, because from the time I was 9, I was playing with a future NBA player and like several other guys that were probably better than me. Like I was always like the glue guy, the 4th, 5th guy, just trying to, set screens, rebound, make winning plays. So when I got to college, I wasn't like, I think some guys have this a little bit of a shell shock when they're not the best player on the team anymore and they have to adjust to being a role. Or for me, like I was a role player my whole life, so it was kind of natural. Like I didn't have any idea that like I need to be this or that. I was like, just let me get on the court,
And that's the thing that 95% of people that play basketball can't figure out.
Yeah.
It's like being self-aware.
When I think it puts you in a position too where you were like, I know my opportunity will come to be in this role, and like I'm ready to be the best player in that role. Like you weren't like, I'm going to go out there and be the leading scorer. You're like, I'm going to be the best screen setter. I'm going to get every offensive rebound. Like, you know what I mean? Like you knew exactly what you needed to do, and you were ready to do it at the highest. And I feel like Jared always says this, like self-aware. Like you got to know where you are on the team, and like when that opportunity comes, then you'll be ready to kill it. And like your story basically shows that's basically how you got to approach it.
Yeah, this week is all about being self-aware.
I like it. This is good. Okay, so actually one more 3-point license soundbite that Tom will like.
Oh God.
So I got my 3-point license as a redshirt when we all knew I wasn't gonna play, and I remember I went to Murph and I was like, "Oh, Murph, I got my 5 completions, like I got my license." He was like, "Oh, LA, you didn't need to do it. Like you're on scout team." I was like, "Oh, my fault." It was just like that's what I'm saying. I think it was good drills. Like I liked it. I still do it to this day. So just to check where I'm at.
Yeah, Tom.
It's good. I told you.
I never said the drills were bad.
No, I'm saying,
never heard
yeah,
of that.
Tom. I can't wait for you to get the driver's license drills going.
I don't know. He might not pass.
Nah, he's gonna pass.
I'm kidding. You'll pass.
That was.
You'll pass.
I don't acknowledge stupidity.
Yeah, but
no,
don't go that far because there are a few tough ones, and if you don't pass, I know you'll be extremely upset.
Why would I not be upset about not finishing shooting drill?
Like thinking that you'll finish it the first time, but it may take you a few times.
Hey man, it's all about getting better.
That's it. There we go. Self-aware.
All right, we can move past the 3-point license. So I kind of want to fast forward. I know these two will want to get into you and me playing together, but we'll get to that. But I want to fast forward to now. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Okay.
To your senior year. Now, again, you kind of downplayed it. You did say you had a really good year, which is true, but you were an all-league player. You were an academic All-American, not just like a nominee. You were an academic All-American. And, like, honestly, our offense ran through you. Like, obviously, Cam was our point guard. Bernie was a key part, but we ran an offense that you were at the focal point, and we ran around you. How do you feel like you got your game to a point where you were able to be that focal point of the offense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, well, I guess the most unique thing that I did as a 5 was, probably passing the ball and distributing the ball, and playing a lot through the elbows and the top of the key. Which now you're seeing that, like, that's what everyone in the NBA is running.
Yeah, you're Jokic.
Hey, he really was.
West
Look at this guy.
Call me Jokic because he never could say it right, but that was before Jokic was an MVP. This was like when Jokic was like, the fat, smelly guy that was like pretty good at passing, But yeah, I've always prided myself on being a good passer. Like as a kid all the way through high school, I always like, I'd much rather make like a sweet pass than like have a dunk. I don't know. I just like, that's what I enjoy. I played quarterback in football. Was a pitcher in baseball. Like I like to distribute the rock. And so I felt like I always did a good job of that. But my first 3 years, I was just and like any other player in the offense, like if I happened to catch the ball in a short roll or cutting, I feel like I could make a pass. And then when Burkhart got the interim job, we sat down and met and just kind of like talked through. He wanted to know what I saw myself or how I saw myself, and he let me know how he saw me. And I told him, I think, let me take the center away from the rim and open up cutting lanes for guys and playing that way would be really effective. And he told me he thought I could be a lot better scorer in the post. And from there, me and Coach Tyler Ogenin worked a lot on my post game to become more proficient scorer. And then, that allowed me to be even more of a threat passing because, you couldn't just leave me one-on-one necessarily.
Yeah. No, and so like we ran a 5-out offense basically where you kind of had the freedom. Like on paper, you could have gone to the top of the key and we swing it through you, and that's when cuts happen. But like you more than any other big that really we ran with that system, like had a lot of free reign to like you said, roam around the elbows, go to the blocks, set screens opposite, like, and you more often than not were making the right decision in the right play. So I feel like it goes back to kind of like what we're talking about, your IQ and like knowing where you're supposed to be on the floor and all that.
Yeah.
And like you rebounded really well too, and I feel like that helped. Jared and I talk about it a lot. Like for me personally, being the shooter on the floor, I think you looked for me a lot more than I even I probably took for granted how much you looked for me. So I don't know. I know I told you this over text message recently, but like hats off to you because it took me to have someone that didn't look for me the way you did to realize how good of a passer you really were out of the post. So, and I know that part of the game translates to you being a professional now too.
Yeah, no, for sure. LA, I still haven't played with anybody professionally that shoots the ball as well as you do, just so you know.
There we go.
You still got that. No, I mean,
Jared,
I
do you have
think,
something to say there? Or?
I'm
That's nice.
gonna toot the Luka Doncic horn a little bit. Basically,
Yes,
from
this is the part of the show where we were waiting to get to.
Maybe not
We're here.
maybe not from day one, because I do remember your visit. And so, just to rewind a little, my freshman year roommate was another walk-on named Travis Rice, who can shoot the ball pretty dang well and was a good scout team guy as a redshirt for us. And so when Luke came on his visit, Travis decided to transfer. His dad got an assistant coach job at University of Washington. He followed his dad up to Seattle. So when Luke came on his visit, it was kind of a janky setup because a bunch of guys weren't on campus. So we ended up playing 4-on-4 with like 2 managers playing.
It was awful.
But nonetheless, Luke had like a manager, I think, guarding him part of the time, but was cooking, like hitting a bunch of like threes and like he's getting some open shots. So like, oh, this guy can shoot. He can be like Travis was for us. But then it didn't take too long after you physically got on campus and we started playing pickup and got into the team practices that you could see like, oh, this dude shoots better than like anybody on the team for sure, and anybody most people have ever been around. And Luke and Nick cooked when they were on scout team as redshirts. Cooked our starting 5 and backups unlike anything you've ever seen, and like everybody that was there can attest to it. Assistant coaches talked about it like at the time, like I've never seen this. This doesn't happen. This shouldn't happen. But the thing is that year we were literally the worst 3-point shooting team in the country, and we had 2 40 to 50 I don't even know what you shot this year, Luke, but we had Luke and Nick sitting on the sideline, not playing. Probably not that like either you were quite ready, like as redshirts. Like I think that it was good for you probably to redshirt, but also we were the worst shooting team in the country with the 2 of them sitting there doing nothing and then
with warm-ups on.
Yeah, and then torching us every day in scout team, along with Galen Burenick and Darius Carter, who Darius was probably 24, 25, like all conference Division II guy, would have been our best guard that year. No BS. And Galen just came off playing 2 or 3 years professionally. Like we got smacked almost every day. And then I think Aziz was the 5th, and Aziz would just like get obnoxious rebounds, offensive rebounds, and just put back. It was a nasty combo.
It was fun. It was a fun year. It was definitely a fun year.
All right, Brooks, I have 2 questions. Oh, well, go ahead, Luke. No, go ahead, Luke. Finish your thought.
I was gonna say. So
wow.
So I feel like you talked about like Wes making it hard on the freshmen the first day, and then you talked about there was a moment in like everyone's career probably where they like questioned if they're in the right spot. That was all the first day for me. I remember I was like, all right, I'm going to get here early. I'm going to get some shots up, like get warmed up, be ready to go. Wes came over to me. He got my ball out the net. He was like, getting some extra shots before practice. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm just trying to be ready. Threw my ball to the other side of the gym. And I was like, all right, like, I don't even know the guy yet. This is crazy. And then proceeds to put me through an hour and a half of straight closeouts and Black Hawk drill. And like, these 2 don't know Black Hawk. I know you do, but tried to kill me. And then I remember, I'm pretty sure I told Jared when I got back, I was like, I'm not going to make it, bro. But then like that first week was miserable. I remember we played pickup. I never got picked up for a team. I'll just shoot free throws on the side and stuff. And then Galen came and played pickup with us that weekend. And he was like, no, you're on my team. Get over here. Like all this. He's like, shoot the ball when I get you open. He's setting like the meanest screens of all time.
Yes.
And like I started hitting shots. And then that's when Brooks picked up. He was like, I'm picking LA. He would pick me like 2nd or 3rd pick because he was like, I don't think people are going to pick him, but like I got to get him. And me and Brooks would run off like the entire pickup like session and not lose because it was just us 2. And then same with Nick. He would find a way to get us 3 on the same floor. And it was funny.
Very important thing to mention though is that at this time, Coach Murph had an incentive. Whoever won the most pickup games each week got free groceries. Like the ops guy would go to the store and buy
that can't be
like
legal.
$100 worth of no. There was like a cap limit. It was like $100 or $75 worth of groceries. And so
like that literally can't be legal.
It was like, hey, I need to win these games so I can get my groceries this week. And like I said, we did not have shooters. And I was like, okay, no one's gonna pick Luke and Nick. So I'm gonna have the 2 best shooters on the court, and then like I'll get 2 other guards in another bit or wing or whatever, and we'll run it. And we kind of did, I think, quite a bit.
No, we definitely did. It was hilarious too because people would get pissed. Like you said, like it caused problems having the scout team being we were doing well, because I remember there were a lot of coach player fight interactions that happened. Like, you guys ran a lot because we were winning, and like there was a lot of bickering going on because of it. And then like I remember Coach Dunn will always be like, "Luke would hit that shot, right?" And I'm over there like, "What's the right answer to this question?" Because like I can't be like, "Yeah," but then like obviously our player didn't, so I can't just like throw him under the bus. But it was a fun year, and like you were actually kind of the voice, you and Aziz, because his red shirt got pulled the year before also. We're like, don't let him pull your red shirt. Like, I don't care how bad we are. I don't care what he's like, use this year to your advantage. And so like, I don't even think they even asked me, because they kind of knew that I wasn't going to, but that was where I was at. I was like, nah, like, I'm good. I'm going to use my year. I'm going to save it.
Yeah. I mean, I think I told you and Nick many times, like, don't first of all, like at that point I don't think either of you had been guaranteed a scholarship, so it's like, what, you're gonna play a red shirt and I don't even have I'm not even paid for next year. That's one thing. But also it's like, by the point that they would have done it was like, we already knew we were not gonna be very good. Like we won like 6 games that year, and it was like, okay, if Luke plays, do we then win like 7? Like, do we win an extra game or 2? And it's like, okay, but that's still 8 wins, you know. So I was like, hey, you guys need to like keep this year and be freshmen next year. And
if you had
that hold, you wouldn't still be in college. I don't think you'd be like,
no, wouldn't have dragged this out.
Yeah, 24.
Sorry. All right, Jared.
Yep. Is that time?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
All right, Brooks. I have 2 questions. I want your favorite LA story. It can be basketball or non-basketball related. That's the first question, and then I have a second question. So, best LA story can be anything.
Best LA story. Gosh, I don't even know.
We spent a lot of time together, so like, there's probably like,
there's probably hard to, but like off the top of my head, like, I don't have any like one time where like a ridiculous LA thing just happened. I mean, on court stuff was like literally like, I would say him killing us in scout was like by far the biggest like takeaway for like on the court shit. But I mean, by the time
let's hear some off court then.
Yeah, let's hear some off court stuff. Well, you know, at one point in time there was a group of guys called Team Wonder Bread that operated around Flagstaff. As you might guess, it was made up of myself, Luke, Nick, and did we have anybody else, or was it just the 3 of us?
I don't know. I think it was really just the 3 of us. Because Kai wasn't involved.
Team Wonder Bread.
Team Wonder Bread.
And Team Wonder Bread used to go on, you know, group dates, movie dates together.
Yeah.
We used to do all sorts of stuff. It's Team Wonder Bread.
I'm glad.
So I don't have one particular time, but like.
That was perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for.
That gang of guys.
Team Wonder Bread is all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
There's another story that I'm surprised you didn't bring up, because you gave me a lot of. I think it was Aziz's birthday we were at a party and I wasn't drinking, and I had an Arnold Palmer in my cup, so it looked like it was alcohol, just so everyone wouldn't ask me like, "What are you drinking? What are you drinking?" And you came up to me and you were like, "LA's not drinking. Don't let him fool you." I was like, "Bro, why are you blowing my cover?"
I probably didn't bring that up because I probably had like 10 drinks myself in LA.
Yeah, that's probably true. I just remember you were like, "What's in your cup, bro? It looks like alcohol." I was like, don't worry about it." You're like, "You're not drinking." I was like, "Hey,
I knew you weren't
guilty." Yeah.
All right, Team Wonder Bread. Team Wonder Bread is the best. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that was
Team
good.
Wonder Bread.
At one point, me and Nick were like planning out LA's 21st birthday, like where we were gonna take him drinking. And LA's like, "Dude, I don't even need to drink." I'm like, "Dude, you're getting drunk on your 21st." It's like, we're gonna make you do it. I don't think we.
They called me the next day.
No, we didn't, because we played Arizona I think it was the day before my birthday, the 21st. And I remember Coach Ocean was like, "You gonna finally go buy yourself a beer?" And I was like, "No, Coach O, like, just got spanked. Like, I'm gonna be all right tonight. Like, it's just not gonna happen." Yeah, but I don't know if that sufficed your need there, Jared.
It did. Wonder Bread that's gonna go down in infamy.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's a good one. That used to be my PlayStation name, Wonder Bread LA.
Wonder Bread LA.
Wow.
Now here's the question that all the listeners out there want to know. And Brooks, I'm going to put you on the spot, so I'm sorry. So you made some comments about Luke's shooting ability.
Mm-hmm.
Is Luke out shooting Peyton Pritchard?
You know, I've thought about this before. Right now,
we've talked about it.
It's I don't know. It's tough. Like, because here's the thing. Like, if you put Steph and Klay Thompson together in practice every day, like Steph wins some, Klay wins some. I think that's probably the outcome you'd have if you like put the two of them in a gym together. Like either
You
one.
trying to be the mayor of Westland or something? It sounds like that was like a real political answer.
He's really good at it.
I would say LA is probably better off of the catch, and I would say Pritch is probably better off the bounce.
That's a good assessment. I like that.
I used to always ask him this, and he was like, "You got to remember, I've watched Peyton shoot since we were little kids," and I was like, "All right, that's not what I'm asking. Like, who's a better shooter?" And you usually give Peyton the nod, so I appreciate that answer, man.
Yeah, must be because he's on the Walk-On pod.
Yeah, the camera changes things.
Gotta respect the pod host. No, I mean, when we were in high school, we used to do this drill called 2-minute shooting, where you'd have one basketball and just how many threes can you make in 2 minutes with one guy rebounding for you. And it was like, if you could get over like 20, that was like considered like the benchmark. And most guys would like not stand directly under the rim, you'd stand in case you missed. And I remember one time Peyton was like, don't just stand under the rim. And he made 37 out of 37 on that.
That's
but I've also seen LA make, 47 out of 50 on, 50 shots. So it's like, I mean, we're splitting hairs, but both of them shoot the crap out of the ball.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Are the Celtics going to get it done? They kind of caught the L tonight.
Yeah, I hope they get it done. I'm shipping out to Miami Saturday. So
it's interesting you didn't want to go to the Boston games. You wanted to go to the Miami games.
Well, I'm flying up to Boston after game 3 and 4. So if when Boston takes the next 2, you know what happened. I'm the traveling good luck charm. So hopefully they can take care of business.
Yeah, maybe, hey, might be onto something. It might be the Walk-On pod luck. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. By the time this episode comes out, we'll know too. So
that's true.
Guess we'll find out. Okay, so now, boom, done with college, done with LA stories. Boom, now you're a pro. What has been like the biggest thing that you took from being in college that has made you someone that's reliable as a professional?
Yeah, I mean, I think the habits you develop in college definitely translate to being a professional. And I would say even to like double down on that, like, how disciplined you are not in college will like double as a professional, because when you're in college, you have every person in a position to like basically make your life as easy as possible. You have an academic person that helps you with class. You have a study hall. You have assistant coaches that will come in, or managers or GAs that will come in at literally any hour of the day, rebound for you, put you through a workout, do literally anything you ask. You have managers that are like doing your laundry and like taking your towel and wiping your ass if you ask them to. And when you get overseas, that's not necessarily the case. Like I've had assistant coaches where I'm like, hey, like, can we get shots? And like they'll rebound for you for like 5 or 10 minutes, and they're like, hey, let's get out of here, Or on the club I played for this year, we had like they put the rims up for practice in the gym, and the guy who has to take the rims down has to go home, And so he's like, hey, when can you finish so I can go home? Or like, hey, I'm going to my other job. You got to get out of here. And they just take the rims down. So there's like times where like literally you want to work on your game and get better, and there are things physically holding you back from doing that. And so I think if you're not disciplined, you don't have like really good habits, and you're not consistent, when you get overseas, you either are talented enough to skate by, but you never reach your potential, or you aren't talented enough and you're going to fall apart. But the guys who I think have long-term success are pretty diligent with the way they work.
I like that. That was very, very well said. What has been your favorite place that you've played at? Or it doesn't even have to be your club, but like even if like an away game or something like that, like what has been one of your favorite places to be at?
So I would say like in terms of like physical arena, or just like city or like place to be.
Both or either, whatever comes to your head.
I would say when I was down in Mexico for 4 months from like July to November. That was a pretty fun experience. They had great fans. Club was really professional, did a really good job, good coaches, enjoyed the teammates and all that stuff. And then when I was in Frankfurt, I was hurt for a portion of the year, and we had a tough season basketball wise, but I would say living out there was pretty cool. best like arena, I would say Bayern Munich's gym. It's an older gym, but in Munich, Germany, they've got a big EuroLeague arena. It was a pretty cool place to play a game.
Yeah, that's dope. I was gonna say, I remember when you would repost your stuff from Mexico, it looked pretty live in there. Like, it looked real involved with the fans and everything. So I thought that was always super cool.
Yeah, it was very lively. They always want to take photos and stuff after games, and fans are pretty rowdy. You know, they have a 2-for-1 cervezas deal usually at our home games, and so usually draws a pretty good crowd.
Little posty.
Yeah.
All right. So now the question we all want to hear. You were a walk-on, right? What about being a walk-on makes you such a good pro?
I would say just the fact that, like, when I came in, I was at the bottom. You know, it was like literally I was told, like, hey, we have 6 bigs on our roster. You're the 6th big. You know, and so just like starting from a humble spot, or basically nothing being given to you and having to earn everything. I think, when you're an import player playing overseas, you don't necessarily have to earn everything. Like, there's something like it's given to you somewhat, but it also can be taken away from you pretty easily. Like, if you go somewhere and you don't perform or you don't do well, like, teams will get rid of you. They'll cut you pretty quickly. So just have that mentality of like, okay, hey, like, I'm going to start and I'm going to play a lot of minutes, but also like I have to perform. So I better like come at this like it's, I got to earn my keep every day to, continue my career basically.
Yeah, definitely. There we go. That was a good answer. I like that. Fellas, what do you got for us? You good?
I'm ready.
You're ready.
Is LA Mr. Flagstaff?
Is LA Mr. Flagstaff? No, I don't think so.
That backfired, Tom.
I don't think anyone's ever called LA Mr. Flagstaff.
Yeah, no, because we had a Charles Burns on our team who actually was Mr. Flagstaff.
Charles Burns knew more people in the 9 months that I was with him in Flagstaff than I knew in 4 years being in Flagstaff. That's no joke.
That's right, Tom. You're Mr.
Tom,
wherever you head.
I just accepted it, Tom.
Man. I just
accept it, Tom.
I will say I never saw LA after he buzzed the hair and went beard, and he might have been more Flagstaff after that. Might have been.
I'm saying.
I might have missed that.
I'm saying, man.
It was during COVID though, so there wasn't much.
Like the nice comb over and the clean shaven face when I was in Flag.
Oh,
I guess we'll never know, right? I don't know.
There's still time. Flagstaff's not going anywhere.
Okay. All right. Is it starting 5 time then? Is that what you're saying?
Definitely starting 5 time. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right,
I want to hear what Brooks. Brooks seemed excited. I want to hear what Brooks has to say.
He was ready. So basically, our starting 5 topic this week. This is one that I've had in the vault for a little bit, and I just never proposed it to the guys. And I think it'll be a good episode to bring it out. We're going with starting 5 athletes that you would let date your sister. Now, again, this can be taken a lot of different directions. I know there's a lot of talk before about how this was interpreted, but the guys are excited. Brooks, we kick it to you first, right? We're going to go point guard through center, leave the walk-on for when we circle back around.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, let me preface this with, like, I had to get a little esoteric here. And also, I don't have a sister. So this was a hypothetical. Well,
it's a great word, man.
I didn't want to just go through and pick the dorkiest guy in each major sport. It's the easiest thing to do.
LA already said that you were all American, man, academic. You don't need to. You don't want to make us look dumb, right?
I might have overthought this, but I'm gonna go point guard. I'm going Shohei Ohtani.
Nice.
Now with my point guard spot, I mean the lead guard's got to be an all-around guy. Play offense and defense. Can lead the team.
Shohei was at my tryouts, man.
Yeah, and a leader by example, and also if he had to be like an in-law, a quieter guy. I don't necessarily need to hear him chirp all the time. That's why I went with my point guard spot. And then I was going back and forth here, but also, like, does my sister need a full roster of like a full 5?
It's that's not the word.
Nonetheless, here we go. So my 2, I went totally different with my shooting guard spot. I felt like I need someone electric, someone that can produce. So I went Lamar Jackson, big Truz.
Wow. Okay. And I'm not mad at that.
something you probably haven't thought about with Lamar Jackson is, this guy's a big time businessman. He just negotiated his whole thing. Like I'm not gonna have to worry about money. I'm not gonna have to worry about her financial security. So we're gonna be safe in terms of that. So that's my shooting guard.
There we go.
And then small forward, I'm going a little bit of a no, actually, yeah, I'm gonna go small forward, Kyle Anderson, aka Slow Mo.
Oh wow, okay.
Slow mo.
I can't say I saw this one coming.
I need someone who's gonna take it slow. We don't need to rush things too fast.
Oh my God, he was ready. Hey, he's living up to the hype.
Yeah, I don't know. This might be Owen. This might be approaching Owen level.
Yeah, so
he says
had to go. Went with Kyle Anderson there. Big emphasis on taking things slow, nice and easy. We don't need to rush into anything. And then I really went back and forth with this one, but at the power forward, I felt like I needed someone who's can kind of protect, who can kind of be not necessarily an enforcer, but make sure no one's messing with my sister. So I went with Trent Williams, the best offensive tackle in football.
Wow,
a big teddy bear.
These are very thought out.
A gentleman, but someone who's willing to protect and make sure she's okay. And then at the center spot, I'm going Tyson Fury. And, but you got to hear me out. Tyson Fury. He's not the most handsome guy, but he will. He's willing to fight for her love. And he really, and he's a big guy. He actually could probably play center. This guy's like 6'9". It's like actually a good center.
Wow,
it's a good list. This is a really good list.
Elite level list.
No, I'll hold my walk-on spot, but it's
We'll circle back around.
Yeah.
All right. That was impressive.
That was impressive. I really was excited about going next. I was gonna volunteer to go next. Now I'm kind of worried.
Nah, it's all you, man. Go ahead.
I'm still gonna go next. Did I win last week again too?
I'm not even gonna answer the question.
Why does he keep saying again? Why does he keep?
Because he thinks he's funny because you said that once when it hadn't been posted yet. So he just thinks he's funny now. He's an old head. Remember?
Exactly.
I don't even remember that because I.
It's like the version of a dad joke, Tom. I'm just moving on.
All right, it was a while ago, Tom.
Yeah, I'm just making a joke. Point guard. I just want greatness. I want someone that's wholesome. I want the family image. I want someone with legacy that I know that, like, if I end up having a little niece or nephew down the road, like, the bloodlines are strong. Give me Steph at the point guard.
Yeah, I knew someone was going to do it. I'm really glad I didn't.
Steph at the point guard. Now, this guy can score, but he's not so much focused on scoring high. He's all about scoring low. So I feel like that he's not going to have high expectations. He's not like a super big guy. So, like, I don't feel like I'm going to be intimidated. But I think overall, the world has seen now that he's just a really, really good, genuine, hardworking guy. Give me Matt Fitzpatrick at my shooting guard.
Okay, that's a good take. That's a really good take. I don't know how many people will appreciate that take, but I definitely do.
Yeah, golfer, Matt Fitzpatrick. Small forward. Now, if I want to be in the scene, if I want to, see our family elevate themselves, I feel like this guy is going to be a big-time politician when his career is done. He's accomplished a lot. He's still playing in the playoffs. Give me Malcolm Brogdon at my small forward.
I like that.
All-American, wholesome presidential candidate. Now, if I just need, I just need that all-American looking guy. I just need someone that maybe I can go out, get around to golf in, throw the pigskin around, and, the place where he plays, it's really cold all the time. So I don't have to worry about my sister, like, being out in a bikini or being out in the weather. She's going to have a big, sturdy coat on. So, give me Josh Allen at the power forward.
I love it. I really do.
17.
Yeah, man.
Wow. Josh Allen at the power forward.
QB1.
Yeah, Buffalo, man. Jacket only. Yeah, now, at the center position, this guy's anyone that is going to try to steal my sister's heart, like, he's there swatting those away. swatting away all the bad energy. Give me Jared Allen, center.
Okay.
Good hair, right? We got good hair. We got quiet guy, kind of like what Brooks said. I don't have to say much, but I know that he's gonna protect the house.
I like that. That was good. That was a good lineup, actually.
Thank you. It's a great lineup.
Tom, you cool if I run off here? I'm excited here.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Okay, and I know Tom's gonna really love my point guard here. My point guard, he's you're gonna notice a theme among my starting five here for a couple of people, but this guy's the leader of it. He's a proven family man. He does it at a big stage. He's not afraid of looking dorky, if you will. And he's ignited different cities across his career, and I just feel like he's someone that is a very secure person. Give me Russell Wilson at my point guard. I think Russell Wilson is a family man. He's a wholesome guy. He's getting it done.
He's about Jesus. That's true.
That's right.
Yeah. So give me Russell Wilson.
He's gonna wait. He's gonna wait till marriage.
High knees on the airplane to London. That's all I think about.
Yeah, exactly. He's a good guy. At the two, another guy that has led the charge for his country for years.
Oh my God.
And an entire country adores this guy. He put it on display during the World Cup, and it wouldn't be right if I didn't have Luka Modric as my shooting guard here.
Nice.
Just a stand-up guy who does it at a high level. I need Luka Modric on my list here. At the three, and I was very scared that Jared was going to take this guy. You want to talk about a family man? This guy is a well-documented family man. He does it for the people that share the same name as him. Week in, week out, does it with a smile on his face. I've never seen anyone say a bad thing about my man Tony Finau at the three.
Wow.
Just Tony Finau.
Yeah. A responsible stand-up guy. He would take care of your sister well. At the four, no pun intended, there's a little bit of a curveball for me here. I don't know the sport of baseball too well. I'm not a big fan, but I feel like this guy's in the limelight, and you never hear a bad thing about him. He puts the city of New York on his back. I want Aaron Judge as my power forward. I feel like he's a real stand-up guy. He's clearly a leader in that locker room. And again, you just never hear bad things about the guy. So I think I'm very confident rolling with him at the four. And at the five, again, he's playing in the playoffs like Jared said right now. He's been the voice of reason for a lot of things surrounding the sport of basketball and male athletics, and I feel like he's not afraid to be vocal when it comes to standing up for my sister if they were together. He's been around forever. Give me Kevin Love at my center.
K-Love. What did Owen say about K-Love today?
He said he looks like someone's dad out there throwing outlet passes. He kind of does, but I'm really glad Jared didn't take Tony Finau. I felt like that was my star player, so I'm very happy about that.
Good. Yeah, it's a great pick, great licks. Tom, what do you got, bro? You had some caution on this one.
At my one, I went with a baseball player here. Up and coming star, good personality. I think it'd be a lot of fun for the family. I've got Ronald Acuna Jr., the Atlanta Braves. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ronald.
Not familiar with his game. I'll take your word for it.
Good dude. At the two, I've got a guy who shows up for his country when the bright lights are on. Some people like to call him Captain America. I've got Christian Pulisic. I think Christian Pulisic is going to take care of my sister and be a great guy for the family, and that's exactly what we need.
Captain America. All right, got you.
Captain America. At the three, I've got another young star. I enjoy the fiery personality he brings on the tennis court, and I just think he'd be a fun guy to hang around. I'm being selfish here. I think he'd treat my sister right, but I want to hang out with this guy. Carlos Alcaraz at the three.
Wow. That's a good pick.
At the four, I don't think much more needs to be said at the four. I think this guy I think this guy is just probably the right one for my sister, and that's why I'm going with Kelly Oubre. And at the 5,
Yo,
we've got the life of the
hold
party.
on.
At the 5, we've got the life of the party.
I don't have a flag, but I'll throw the sweatshirt.
At the 5, we've got the life of the party, and that's Travis Kelce.
You know,
I love
my man Travis Kelce,
but I think Travis Kelce.
These feel like some selfish picks here, man. I'm not gonna lie; these feel like some selfish picks.
No, I think these guys. I think these guys are perfect for my sister sisters. We got 2 sisters.
You just want to hang out with Travis Kelce?
No. I think Travis is a good dude. I could pick Jason if you want me to go with Jason, but I think Travis. I think Travis is the right guy, especially at the 5.
Can I get some more explanation on the Kelly Oubre pick?
I'm a little
the wavy poppy.
Kelly Tsunami Poppy, actually. Kelly just seems like a good dude, man. I don't think much more needs to be said. Like, small ball 4 for us for the lineup. I think we can go to him when needed, and Kelly came to tryouts, and I liked what he brought to the table. That's what I don't know.
It's a little suspect,
man.
All right.
I might walk on. I think this guy. I think a lot of people get the wrong ideas about this guy. Especially when it comes to like the dating scene, maybe. And I think it's deeper than that. I don't like the rap he has. And I think in terms of the dating scene with my sister, it'd be perfect. That's why I'm going with Jordan Poole.
Bro, Tom, we need to. This is an interesting decision. I don't know, man. I don't know with you, bro.
Luke, just go, man. I don't know what happened when his phone cut out, but that was something
crazy.
Happened.
That was really crazy.
Nope.
My walk-on.
Luke's trying to recover.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
Was that crazy? I don't think that was crazy.
Feels a little odd.
Do you not get on Twitter? Do you not get on Twitter?
We got a bunch of good guys, man.
It feels a little odd.
Jordan
I'm just going to say that.
Yeah. Jordan Poole is underrated in this scene.
So my walk-on pick, he's near and dear to my heart. He got a good amount of votes this year for teammate of the year, and I think that goes to show what type of guy he is. He's willing to, not be the star on his team, but everyone around him appreciates him. And this is the type of guy that I really think would thrive, in a role where you're clearly appreciated for the type of guy you are. I'm gonna go with my man Harrison Barnes. Like I said, near and dear to my heart. Everyone loves him here in Sacramento, and we'll see how this free agency goes here. But I think Harrison Barnes deserves the nod here at the walk-on. And yes, I was gonna sneak a Kings pick in there. I had to.
You wouldn't let Jordan Poole date your sister?
I don't really want to talk about it. I just I don't really want to talk about it.
I'm not gonna answer that. I don't have sisters, so
yeah.
My walk on, humble roots, humble upbringing. He has a very discernible skill that all of us appreciate, and he also has diversified his business, and he just looks like an all around good guy. Give me Duncan Robinson. That's my walk on.
No, just another great play out of Jared. That's why I'm gonna dunk, man. I love Dunk. He's a great guy. He got a couple minutes tonight.
All right, Brooks, what you got?
Okay, well, I was thinking walk-on pick. Wanted to go a little bit unexpected,
Yeah, no,
under the radar. So I'm going Brittany Griner for my walk-on pick.
Really?
Now here's the thing. Obviously my hypothetical sister, I'm not sure of her preferences, but I didn't want to be fully too heteronormative. So I'm going Brittany Griner. Now you got to think.
Did you just make up a word, Brooks?
No, heteronormative means like
that's
anyway,
a real
word.
I deal with this every week, Brooks. I'm saying. Go ahead.
Nice, good word, Brooks.
Here's the thing, though. But no, in all seriousness, Brittany Griner can get through the tough times, and she overcomes adversity like unlike anybody you've really seen. And that's what you need in a partner. And so, I think that could be a really good fit.
I think that's a good pick.
I think
it was high level.
I think it was a great pick. I think it's a phenomenal pick. I'm kind of mad that I didn't think about it myself.
Yeah, that's high level.
No, that was a really well done,
Brooks. That was well
done. You did the damn thing tonight, man.
You did. You did.
Yeah. No, I hope the voters can see the thought I put in, when we're all listed and everything. But
yeah, man, I hope so too, because they'll just have to tune in. They'll just have to tune in, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Brooks, I don't think we had the pleasure of getting out on the golf course together. What's that swing looking like for you? Do you ever golf?
You know what, the 6'9" frame isn't the best for golf. I need custom clubs, but I do have a set of clubs. I don't get out on the course too often, obviously being out of the country most of the year, but during the summer months I get out every once in a while. My younger brother does works on the greens crew at a local course, so we get out there once in a while and get after it. But I'm by no means a good golfer.
And you're in the right place then, man. I'll tell you that.
You're in the right place. Luke's a great golfer. I have some great advice for you. You talked about trying to find someone to date your sister, and if you want to win a date, you just need 50 chips a night. The marriage will be ordained by the state because chipping gets your proposal right.
Well done, man. That was really well done, actually.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like the Brittany Griner pick. That was like,
I wouldn't. Don't like elevate.
Oh, don't diminish Brooks. Sorry, my fault.
Yeah, I mean, no, you did well, but not.
It was like the Jordan Poole pick.
That was good.
Did you not see what happened with? Yeah, did you not see what happened with the Ice Spice date? Did you not see that?
No, I'm well aware.
Okay, all right. I'm just making sure.
So,
just wasn't sure if you had been on the internet.
I mean, that's a lot of my. Yeah, that's.
So you want your sister to treat right. Treat yourself.
What if he spent that on my sister? Like,
I'm not touching that. I'm not.
He just wants to get shots up with Jordan.
No, it's not that. I mean, Jared, like, whatever. We can.
No, go ahead, man. It's your time now.
No, I mean, he said, "Did you see the Ice Spice date? That's a lot of money that he spent on Ice Spice. Like, clearly he cares."
And there's a reason for that.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, maybe my reason is that I'm thinking he spent the money is different from yours, and that's why he's on my roster.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
I'm just gonna let it be at that, Tom. I'm gonna let you rock, young guy.
Yeah.
All right, man. In any event, Brooks, appreciate you coming on here, man. I mean, I didn't talk as much as I normally do probably this episode, but I really enjoyed listening to your story and where you came from. Is pretty cool to see, like, and obviously Luke's told me about you, and I know how successful you've been as a pro, but it's pretty cool to see like where you came from to get where you are now, or at least listen to it. And so I'm grateful you could come on here and share that story with us. We enjoy stories like yours a lot. So
definitely.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it was good to come on and share and chop it up a little bit with you guys.
No doubt. When do you head back out?
I just got back a week ago, and then I will probably. I'm not signed anywhere right now, but usually like between the first week of August and sometime in the month of August usually is when I'll be leaving. But yeah,
big time.
August 10th, 15th is pretty standard.
Big time. Well, good luck to you this next upcoming season. We'll expect great things. Friend of the pod, we'll be watching. So
yeah, thanks, Brooks. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I'll be tuned in to as many as I can listen to. Whenever I'm on a long flight, I always know where I can turn for a good listen. So
there we go.
I love it.
He's
I love it. Love it. This has been your favorite walk-on. We're walking out.